Good morning. We'll call today's Housing, Urban Development, and Zoning Committee meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer. Alderwoman Keys.
Here.
Vice Chair Saunier. Alderman Browning.
Present.
Alderman Aldridge.
Present.
Chair Clark Hubbard. Alderman Cone. Vice Chair Saunier. We have 5 present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. With that, I'll accept the motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, October 7th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by Alderman Aldridge and seconded by Alderwoman Keys that we approve the minutes from Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer. Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Vice Chair Saunier. Alderman Browning.
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge.
Aye.
Chair Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderman Cone. Vice Chair Saunier. We have 5 aye votes.
All right. That we successfully approved the minutes. We will now move forward in the agenda to recognize Alderman Aldridge and Board Bill 82.
Thank you, Madam Clerk and members of the committee. Today I present to you Board Bill 82, which is an agreement between the Comptroller's Office and the individuals at the old post building to buy the Enaco Plaza. For most folks that are unaware of what Enaco Plaza is, it sits right next to the St. Patrick Center and across the street from the post building. Currently, right now, it is fenced up. At once upon a time, we had seen a lot of our unhoused community kind of using this area to sleep there when they didn't have anywhere to go. The city fenced it off. It's a nice square, but it's really not being utilized. And I know Mr. John Berglund will be coming up here shortly to talk about it, but this has been an ongoing conversation for several years to be able to purchase this area that has not been utilized to actually revitalize it and to bring some actual use to it. Currently, Mr. Berglund, I believe, have a quarter of the plaza. It's very weird the way that the parcels are, and then the rest of it is the city. So this is, like I said, an agreement between him and the Comptroller's Office for him to be able to buy it. The Comptroller Office is here. They're in full support of the legislation to be able to buy this land, and I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Berglund. And then after that, Mr. Berglund will pass it over to Mr. Sweeney.
Good morning. Can you raise your right hand?
Yep.
Swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please proceed.
My name is John Berglund. I represent the ownership group for the former Post-Dispatch building, which Alderman Aldridge mentioned. We purchased the building in 2018 and have about $75 million in that building, and that's where Square has their Midwest presence. Back in 2020, when COVID hit, what Alderman Aldridge referred to, we did have a large number of tents and encampments that went in there that did end up resulting in a fatality, regrettably. And so we have had an interest in the plaza going back some years, both a little bit of a defensive move because of the homeless population issue, as well as wanting to improve the property. In 2020, we purchased a 70-foot by 30-foot section of the plaza from Northside, which had purchased it from LRA. And we've been interested in purchasing the rest of the plaza so that we can improve it. The current plan is to use it for parking, which I know doesn't sound that glamorous, but the most common issue we get when we try to get tenants is, where do I park? And people in St. Louis like to park right next to where they're going to work. And so we would comply with all the zoning ordinances for parking in terms of lighting and fencing and all those things. And I think it'll be a very nice asset for the area as opposed to being an eyesore. And so We've been in conversation really with the city for about 5 years, and we're very excited about the opportunity to purchase the plaza. One of the issues that's come up is the potential that it has been a park property, and I'm going to hand that over to David Sweeney, or I can take any questions if there are any. Okay.
Swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Dave Sweeney with Lewis Rice. Yes, as far as the park, it's been held out as such for many years as Interco Plaza. However, it never legally became one. And to be a park, it needs to be done by ordinance. That was never performed. I have research I'm happy to share with anyone. But going further, to reiterate what John said, is not only was it held out there, but the city actually at one point owned some under LRA, which Northside Regeneration purchased, and subsequently John purchased. So there's already a parcel that is privately owned. We're simply seeking to do the entire parcel. We worked with the comptroller's office to get an appraisal, to get a fair market value for the city. And so that's what stands before you, is that piece. And something else John didn't talk about, but I know he's been in communication with the St. Patrick Center, SLPS, so they're very aware of this project as well.
All right.
Sorry about that. Ready when you are, Madam Clerk. Madam Chairwoman. So in the drive, so the original board bill that was added, there's a new one in the drive that we will need to adopt as an amendment. What we end up doing is we attach the exhibit of the purchasing agreement, as well as in section 1 where it says the Board of Aldermen. Basically in the section 1 on page 1 of 2. It adds language for section 1 and 2 where it talks about the exhibit being part of the actual board bill. So we will need to make a motion to accept, I guess, amendment number 1, which will be adding the new exhibit, this purchase agreement that was worked on yesterday with the comptroller's office and the developer to make sure that this actual exhibit was part of the legislation. If somebody would like to make the motion.
Second.
It was moved by Alderman Browning and seconded by Alderwoman Keys that we accept amendment number 1 to Board Bill 82. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and members of the committee, and Alderman Browning. And with that, I would open questions for committee members.
All right. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I guess first question I have is probably for Mr. Sweeney here regarding the comment that it has to be an ordinance to be a park, and that is what would trigger us to have a public vote.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, historically, yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Years, not that, well, I guess it's long now. Forest Park and Barnes Jewish, there was a piece of property that was sold, and there was a voter petition that that changed the charter that would require any parks to sell, like if this were one, it would have to go to a vote of the whole city.
And so that requires, I can't remember if it says in the charter that it has to already be a park by ordinance or if it's park land in the charter, because that would be a different, I mean, I'm not trying to throw a wrench necessarily, but just
no.
avoiding litigation, I guess, in the future for the city.
No, I think it's very clear. I don't have the charter in front of me. I can pull it up.
You check your pocket.
No, I have the rules. Actually,
I really saw
but
you
I
check
don't
your
have the charter.
pocket just
I
then.
actually do have the charter in my bag,
Yeah,
actually.
we all have our cell phones,
But
I
I
guess.
will check on that, but we feel comfortable that the city
Okay.
has full authority.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm not super familiar with this parcel of land right now. Is it currently paved?
No, so also,
Is
so that,
this is the picture here?
yep, that's the picture there. It's not paved, so I'll be honest, it's not the best looking interco or not the best looking plaza. There's some hard space. There's not, there is some green space, but since it hasn't been maintenance, there's not a lot of green space. Actually, right behind, as Mr. Berglund said, he had spoke with St. Patrick's Center and the public schools. Right behind this interco is the public schools headquarter, and to the left of it is actual green space where people can sit. So it's concrete and it's grass that isn't grown and it hasn't been beautified in a very long time.
Is there any desire by the purchaser to add more green space or in terms of, planting more trees or anything to kind of offset the new pavement of this?
Yeah, I'll have him come up, but I will say again, even though because right now it's fenced off, I doubt there's probably any trees that are healthy or any grass. Right behind this plaza and right behind the post building is various green space, trees, areas where people can sit down. So, I don't look at this as a lack of green space because there is some where you can walk right across the street. But this area that is sitting next to St. Patrick's Center, I really wouldn't even call it green space if you go down there and you look at it because it just haven't been maintenance, no trees or anything like that. But I'll have Mr. Berglund come up. I think, like he said, his intentions is to put a parking lot because there's not much parking for the people in the building to be able to go there. But if he would like to answer, I'll let him answer as well.
I get it. I'm always just a little disappointed to see something that is a park or green space turn into a lot.
If you go down there now, there's nothing green. Probably dead green stuff.
Yeah, I mean more with like stormwater issues and different concerns, I think people have about just generally concreting over every inch of permeable surface that we have is not my favorite thing. But I do understand the need for parking and the availability of land that's there. So I just wanted to know if you're doing anything to offset the stormwater concerns or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to make this an inviting parking lot. We're going to charge more because of proximity, and people want to see the trees. They want to see it softened. There's some mature trees along Tucker currently. We would keep those. And again, we would comply with stormwater runoff as well as what the ordinance would do, but we could plant some additional trees in there to soften things up a bit.
Sure. And I know, the city of St. Louis, we don't have requirements for that offsetting that other municipalities do. I've been doing some research about this recently. The other municipalities have, if you pave over a certain amount of green space, you've got to replace it with a certain amount of green space or trees or whatever. So I appreciate anything that you can do just out of the goodness of being a good developer downtown, because we just have a lot of, it's a really hot area, a lot of urban heat issues downtown, and anything that we can do to fight back against that is appreciated. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Further questions?
Alderwoman Keys.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no questions. Thank you.
Alderman Brownie.
Thank you. I have similar concerns about eliminating permeable space. One thing I'll point out is that MSD, I believe, has started taxing people on non-permeable services, and so there would actually be benefit to the developer in this case to create a permeable parking lot. And just using it as an example, in my ward, the Missouri Foundation for Health has done an excellent job of creating a parking lot that has permeable surfaces, places for the rainwater to drain, and it helps out, and it helps make it less of an impact on the surrounding area. I guess my question is, when I'm looking at the area, I can count over 10 service parking lots in this area. I understand the need for parking But my question is there not an option to use the numerous surface lots around the building currently?
Lots, but not all of them. And so what we fight with every day is how many spaces per thousand, and if we are competitive with what's going on in the county, 3 per thousand, 4 per thousand. This will help us reach that goal. The best that I could offer is that compliance with the ordinance, as well as working with MSD on permeable spaces in terms of stormwater. I'm very familiar with those types of issues, and we want to have something inviting for the tenants of the building.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable, and I understand there's been difficulties with the spot, which is why I'm leaning towards supporting this today, just because I think there does need to be something done with this spot in order to improve the area. But similar to my colleague, I'm a little bit disappointed to see it proposed as parking when we already struggle with too many surface lots downtown. But understanding that there's things to mitigate that, encouraging you to do so. The only other question I have about this is looking at the charter. What I'm reading is that it says basically which is principally used or held out for use as a public park. It doesn't mention an ordinance. So what I'd request on this is a legal opinion. I think I'd feel more comfortable with this proceeding if I understood if there was a legal opinion saying that there did not need to be a public vote, because otherwise I do think there should be.
Yeah, so I know Mr. Sweeney spoke with the city councilor, and I know we can, and Nancy Walsh, we can get the legal opinion on the park element. This isn't a park, but just to make folks feel comfortable, we can make sure that that is provided.
And if you could forward us that'd be great. The only other thing I guess I'll ask for is fine with moving this out of committee today, but before we perfect it, I'd want to have that in hand.
We can work to hopefully get that before perfection.
Right, thank you.
And Vice Chair Sanye? All right, with that, Alderman Aldridge, we're going to close.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I want to thank Mr. Berglund and the City Councilor Office for, that's not City Councilor, Comptroller's Office for working on this and coming together on this project. As someone who lived one downtown and represent this ward, I've seen how this area has not been utilized, how literally, if anybody go walk right now, for several days, if not years, we have had this area fenced off. I'm also not the biggest fan of a surface parking lot, but I think there's a lot of momentum that's happening in the old post building, especially as NGA comes in and they're constantly rapidly recruiting more and more people to be employees here in the city of St. Louis. They're going to absolutely need space. I appreciate Mr. Berglund for acknowledging that he will follow the ordinance of surface parking lots that I worked with the actual residents who stay downtown to ensure that we have security measures on these surface parking lots, such as lighting, such as fencing, such as security to make sure that people who are either parking on these lots if they're going to a game, but mainly people that work in these, that work close by that will be using these lots also feel secure when they come downtown, as well as thank Mr. Sweeney for pulling together the sale agreement with the Comptroller Office in a very quick time to make this happen, and look forward to the future development of this area. And with that, I would ask for a do pass recommendation on Board Bill 82.
I'll accept the motion for us to pass Board Bill 82 as amended.
Second.
It was moved by Vice Chair Sanye and seconded by Alderwoman Keys. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Vice Chair Saunier.
Aye.
Alderman Browning. Aye. Alderman Aldridge.
Aye.
Chair Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderman Cone. We have 6 aye votes.
All right, congratulations. You successfully passed Board Bill 82 as amended. Alderwoman Cox Antwi, are you ready for Board Bill 63?
Yes, Madam Chair. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Today, I am here to present Board Bill 63, which is a rezone bill for the 2800 block of McNair. This rezone was recommended from the Planning Commission in June of this year, and the reason for it is just to address clarifications on zoning with the property line. I do have today with me present in the room representatives from Planning and Zoning to answer any technical questions on this bill. But with that, I'll open to any questions from the committee.
All right, to hear from Administrator? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the committee. This is a simple boundary adjustment rezoning. You may remember that back in June, we had something similar on South Grand. This is in the Benton Park neighborhood. Both property owners brought this to the planning and zoning staff proactively, and it concerns about a 40 by 10-foot strip of land that has always been used as a walkway to access this resident, and the resident had always been under the impression it was on his land. The property next door was a church. The church closed, someone else bought it, and it was during that change of ownership that they discovered that the boundary was not correct. So they want to move the boundary about 40 feet, I guess that would be south, so that that walkway will always be available to that residential unit. So if the current owner would sell it, there would be access. Both the property owners are, like I said, amicable to this, and it was recommended by the Planning Commission.
Perfect. With that, I'll open it up for questions. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you so much. I always find these bills to be really interesting and kind of funny. You know, it's something that's used forever, and then you realize that something needs to change. So I appreciate all the different steps that go into something that seems simple. I know how much work in the background, so thank you for doing it, and I'm happy to support this today. Thank you.
Alderwoman Keys.
No questions, thank you.
Alderwoman Brownie.
Thank you. I have no questions. Echo my colleagues' comments from the first. Understand that work goes into this, and happy to support it today.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Sanye. All right. Alderman Aldridge stepped out, so be good.
Excuse me, Chair Clark Hubbard. Alderman Oldenburg's online as well.
Okay, I was going to see if there were any speakers for the bill as well. Okay. Alderman Oldenburg, would you like to speak?
No, I'm just listening and watching. Thank you all.
Great. Okay, with that, Alderwoman Cox Antwi, you are welcome to close.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That will be all of my comments, and I hope this committee can consider this bill with a due pass recommendation.
All right, with that, I'll accept a motion for Board Bill 63.
Second.
Moved by Vice Chair Sanye and seconded by Alderman Browning. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Vice Chair Saunier. Aye. Alderman Browning.
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge. Chair Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderman Cone, Alderman Aldridge. We have 5 aye votes.
All right, congratulations. Alderwoman Cox Antwi successfully passed Board Bill 63. With that, I'll pass it over to Vice Chair Sonia.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, you are recognized to speak to Board Bill 80.
Thank you, Vice Chair Sonia. Madam Clerk, can you read the summary for Board Bill 80?
Board Bill Number 80, introduced by Alderwoman Shameem Clark Hubbard, an ordinance to repeal Ordinance Number 69056 concerning the city's participation in the Property Assessment Clean Energy Act and enacting a new ordinance regarding the same to enable the city to join the Missouri Clean Energy District in order to provide an additional authorized entity through which owners of property within the city may obtain financing for energy efficiency or renewable energy improvements to their property pursuant to Missouri's Property Assessment Clean Energy Act, and stating that the steps to be taken by the city in connection therewith and the activities such districts may conduct in the cities as a member of such district.
Thank you. The summary did a good job, but I do have a few notes I want to share with you all today. This, again, just simply authorizes the City of St. Louis to join the Missouri Clean Energy District, MCED, which is a statewide public authority that already serves more than 300 Missouri communities. So that we're clear on what it does and doesn't do. It does not spend a single taxpayer dollar. It does not replace or remove any existing city program. What it does do is expand access, allowing property owners, commercial developers, and lenders in our city to choose from more than one authorized program when pursuing clean energy improvements to their buildings. So this is about fairness, it's about choice, it's about access to capital. In every other major C-PACE market in the country, from Chicago to Denver to Austin, operate with multiple administrators, and they found that the competition produces faster service, lower costs, better results ultimately for property owners, and that there shouldn't be any reason why we as a city should be any exception. So the Missouri Clean Energy District is a nonpartisan public entity governed by local officials, not Jefferson City or private interests. It's an affiliate of the Missouri Green Bank, already partners with our city, and already partners with our city Office of Sustainability, which we've been very familiar with our new plan that was just adopted here in the city of St. Louis at the Planning Commission. They partner on federal clean grant energy programs, and this will simply build on that cooperation. So now, at a time, the moment that we're all in, and we all identify with in different ways down here, and we need to make sure that every tool is in a toolbox. I talk about that all the time. We can use this to modernize our building stock and reduce energy costs and attract investments. So essentially promoting and incentivizing housing providers and developers, commercial properties here to address the already looming energy inequity here in the city of St. Louis by joining MCED, again, at this no-cost, common-sense way. It's a voluntary program, and I do have a couple of speakers here with me today, and then we'll be available to answer any additional questions you may have.
Okay, and with that, we can go through the committee order of seniority. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay. I'm going to put your hand up. And do you promise that what you're about to say is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. I will.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Good morning. My My name is Marty McCabe. I'm the Vice President of Relationship Development for the Bank of Springfield, or as we're known down here, BOS Bank. BOS operates 3 branches in Missouri, in the St. Louis area, Kansas City, and O'Fallon, Missouri. And we have successfully financed numerous CPACE projects throughout Missouri, through Missouri Clean Energy District across the state. Our experience with MCED has been consistently positive. Their process is predictable, professional, and timely. They provide the expert guidance needed for this nuanced component of a project's capital stack. CPACE financing offers borrowers long-term, fixed-rate funding aligned with the life of the project's energy improvements. The structure ensures predictable interest expense and strengthens overall project economics. Within the city, however, this current CPACE program structure leaves little room for lender discretion or borrower choice, which creates friction and ultimately discourages participation. Having multiple qualified administrators doesn't dilute standards. It makes the market stronger and more reliable. In short, we encourage the board to allow competition among qualified CPACE administrators. Doing so will make St. Louis more attractive for developers, lenders, and investors alike, accelerating growth and sustainable development within the city. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers?
And I didn't know if there were anyone signed up to speak or in public.
No one has signed up.
Okay.
Thank you. We can go through the committee in order of seniority. So we will start with Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Thank you for this. It sounds like it's authorizing a new pathway and not taking anything away from people who can already, use programs in the city and in general. I've been looking at some of the information on the website, and it seems like a really important way to allow developers to take advantage of more clean energy programs. So something that I think we should be more open to. Is there a reason why this is coming in front of us now if the program was established in 2011?
Right now, there's a structure that doesn't allow for this access and this expanded access to this programming in the city of St. Louis. So this is our way of enabling, like opening this door even wider for city developers, which we all know ultimately pass down the cost savings to our residents.
Well, wonderful. I look forward to supporting this today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Keys.
Thank you. I have no questions.
Thank you, Alderman Browning.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Aldridge.
No questions.
And I don't have any questions either, so you are recognized to close, Alderwoman.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Thank you to my colleagues. And with that, I would ask for your favorable consideration and a due pass recommendation for Board Bill 80.
I make a motion we pass Board Bill 80 with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
It's been motioned by Alderman Aldridge, seconded by Alderwoman Keys, that we pass Board Bill 80 with a due pass recommendation. Madam Clerk, may you please call the roll?
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer. Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Vice Chair Saunier.
Aye.
Alderman Browning.
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge.
Aye.
Chair Clark Hubbard. Alderman Cone. We have 6 aye votes.
All right. Thank you all for the support. With that, we'll move along in the agenda. Are there any resolutions for review?
We have none.
Any committee discussions?
We have none.
Any written testimony?
We have 3 written testimony on Board Bill 80. They're in the J Drive.
Okay, thank you. Does it say if they're in support or just says they're on board?
In support, I'm sorry.
In support, okay, thank you. Any announcements? All right, I move to excuse Alderman Cone for necessary absence.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I make the motion that we adjourn.
So move.
Second?
Previous row.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Everyone have a blessed day.